Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. We're here on Wednesday for Wacky and Weird Wednesday, sharing all the weird and wacky things we've been able to find, and some things I can't even cover because there is a lot of wacky news stories that I found. But we're going to go ahead and share those weird and wacky things to give you some, I don't know, wackiness in your life instead of just doom and gloom. This is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we learned to speak and read live on stream. Let's read out those wacky headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday. Sugar discovered near the Milky Way center shows our galaxy is more of a raspberry milkshake. And a Labrador rescued after eating discarded cannabis on Ben Nevis hike in the UK.
Ben Nevis in Scotland. Why English in the United States? Weird stuff. Well, why English-speaking World Cup fans are choosing Spanish commentary over Fox, watching Telemundo, and let's see. A thief gets instant karma when his car is stolen during a robbery. Instant karma.
A museum spreads peanut butter on the floor to honor a late artist. And Pitbull enters the Guinness Book of Records with the world's largest crowd of balls.
And we're going to go to Cuba, where Cubans are turning solar-powered electric tricycles, turning to solar-powered electric tricycles as they're having a fuel crisis triggered by Stinky the Clown. And a Yellowstone tourist gets attacked by a bison. We have the video.
In my culture news, let's talk about those weird and delicacies Europeans eat that are not for the faint-hearted.
Oh boy. And I forget the national days. It's National Hot Dog Day. Yeah, man. It's a hot dog. Give me some hot dog. Give me that tube steak. It is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026 on Before Coffee. You know, when your coffee gets the right temperature where you can really drink it, like not like I'm gonna burn my lip. Ooh, I've scalded my gums. No, it gets to the right temperature where you can just like, that's where it is right now. So
perfect. You can just gulp it all down. I mean, that's why I'm drinking iced coffee. But then I have to wait for. But with my iced coffee, I have to wait for the ice to melt.
Oh, you got to make it the night before, right? Invent an iced coffee maker. Invent an ice espresso machine.
I think that already exists. It's called like a Ninja Cream or something. Ninja Creamy or something like that.
You're a barista. I don't know. I just like saying barista.
You just want me to invent stuff, and I have zero interest in inventing anything.
Speaking of things that only recently existed, barista, when did that job start existing? A guy that pours you coffee, and that's it.
It's existed for a long time, actually, in places where you drink coffee. The 1800s, maybe? Yeah. I feel like people were drinking coffee in the 1800s. It's just the Italian word for somebody, I don't know, a server? Somebody who pours your drinks? Yeah. Just so the Italians probably called people baristas for a very long time. Our first segue is alliteration.
The other things in Italian. Because I'm not in Italy, I didn't do that. So
the first story we have today is.
What did I get? You were talking over me. What was that?
Alliteration headline.
Alliteration. Got it. All right.
This story is from Stephen Luntz on IFL Science, who has a degree in physics and arts and literature. That's why he's writing this article. The first detection of sugar erythrolysis, erythrolysis. That's a hard one to say. They found sugar, okay? They found sugar that has been made in a dust cloud near the center of the galaxy in the Milky Way. Erythrulose is produced by raspberries and is used in some cosmetics. From a scientific point of view, however, the more interesting aspect of the discovery is that it adds to the evidence that early Earth may have received sugars from space, forming a potential resource of early life. We found the source of life, sugar! If you leave aside the lethal radiation and the fact that the particles are billions of times too thinly dispersed to breathe, let alone drink, the center of the galaxy sounds like a fun place for raspberry fans. More than a decade ago, astronomers found the spectrum of ethyl formate C3H6O2 coming from the dust cloud Sagittarius B2. Ethyl formate helps give raspberries their flavor and is also a contributing ingredient in rum. So not only are raspberries from space, but so is rum. Like most biological products, however, raspberries are much more complex than a single molecule. At the time that the discovery, Arnaud Beloche of Max Planck Institute warned The Guardian, there are many other molecules that are needed to make space raspberries. Now, erythrulose C4H8O4 has been crossed off the astronomical shopping list. We're getting closer to finding the source of space raspberries. It's not just raspberries all the way down in space, though. Other recognizable scents include seared steak, almonds, which is also cyanide, gunpowder, and rotten eggs. Oh no, not the rotten eggs. From a chemist's point of view, sugars are much more than glucose and fructose that make up too much of the modern diet. They are a class of simple molecules with two or more carbon-carbon bonds and a specific range of ends to their chains. Sugars require a minimum of 3 carbon atoms, but the most familiar ones have 6. Erythrulose has 4. And while not widespread in nature, it's popular for the way it makes skin look tan without exposure to sunlight. Sugars have been found in meteorites, suggesting they exist in space, but until this discovery, none have been detected outside the solar system. Clouds of gas and dust, particularly towards the galactic center, contain rich arrays of molecules, some complex enough to pose a challenge as how they could form with no solid surface, let alone a biological mechanism. It's the space cotton candy out there. Dr. Izaskun Jimenez Serra of Spain's Center of Astrobiology and colleagues turned 2 radio telescopes on the cloud G plus 0.693-0.027 to expand the list of 340 molecules detected in space between the stars. Since the simplest sugars have just 3 carbon atoms, these might be expected to be most abundant, if any could be found. Instead, the only sugar whose molecule signature could be detected was erythrulose. 3 carbon sugars must be at least 8 times less abundant to have escaped detection. According to the study's author, quantum mechanical and astrochemical models indicate the erythrulose forms efficiently on the interstellar dust grains from simpler 2-carbon halides and alcohols. They also note that erythrulose, with 14 atoms in its structure, represents the largest non-cyclic molecule species identified so far in the interstellar medium. Non-cyclic molecular. What does that mean? I don't know what these words mean, so I'm going to look them up. Structure way of non-cyclic molecules. What does that mean? Okay, something about ATP and ADP, which is the energy of alkalines. I just want to know what it is. But they won't tell me what it is. I don't know what it means when it's non-cyclic. But let's just say that they don't circle electrons, basically. They've got, protons, electrons. They don't circle each other. They just stay there in one configuration. The discovery takes us higher to the level in the ladder of interstellar chemical complexity, suggesting that other prebiotic and potentially chiral molecules could also form and survive under extreme conditions. So there are biotic molecules out there in space that do not need life to exist. Chiral molecules, those who can never be translated into their mirror images, are common biological products. This is only the second found in the solar system. Outside the solar system. We already know in the solar system there's life, us, but maybe other places where there could be life, there could be also sugar. The early Earth got so hot that it would have destroyed any organic molecules that formed that original ingredient. Moreover, conditions are thought to have been suitable to produce them in quantity before life evolved. However, if erythrulose and other sugars were in the sun's protoplanetary disk, some of them could have safely been incorporated into asteroids and then delivered to Earth once things had cooled down. In water, erythrulose and similar molecules can turn into aldoses, another category of sugar, widening the sugar variety. The presence of such a smorgasbord of molecules to feed on makes it easier to understand how the first life forms could flourish, starting the long chain to us and actual raspberries. So there's your weird and wacky news about how we might have discovered how life started on Earth. Somebody an asteroid delivered some sugar. Some cells said, this stuff is great. I'm going to eat this stuff. And then
sugar.
Now we're here. Yeah.
Carbon plus hydrogen. That's all sugar is. That's all. Yeah.
That's on an alliteration headline. I'm ready for your alliteration headline.
Headline should read Galactic Gooey Goodies or Celestial Sweet Smells or Universe is unbelievably unappealing. Because I don't think most of them are things you want to smell or taste. They're probably just awful. Your taste buds.
Yeah, supposedly they found rotten eggs out there. So somebody threw their rotten egg out the.
Everybody's at candy they don't like. Everybody's at candy they don't like. It's those marshmallow peanuts or whatever. Oh, give me those awful things. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like the worst candy you've ever had. It's way too sweet and it's got too much marshmallow or something.
I guess for you, I don't know.
It's gonna be unappealing. I'm just saying, it's. We're not going to eat space anytime soon.
And my next story is coming from a Labrador who had to be rescued on Ben Nevis in Scotland after supposedly eating some discarded cannabis. So somebody was getting high on Ben Nevis. I don't know why they left their weed behind, but they left it behind. And the dog was like, "Ooh."
Hot dog day. It's hot dog day. That was a hot dog. He was really hot. He was like, "Whoa, what's wrong with me?"
This is from Nadeem Badshaw on The Guardian. A dog has been rescued from Ben Nevis after falling ill from eating cannabis discarded on the mountain trail. Or maybe they lost it. It just flew out of their bag and flew away. Christina Bloom was halfway up the UK's highest mountain last weekend when her black Labrador, Tokyo, lost the use of her legs and began drifting in and out of consciousness. Lochaber Mountain Rescue Team stretched an unconscious Tokyo down from a 4,413 feet or 1,345 meter peak to a local vet. Bloom said the dog made a full recovery the following day and that the vets believe she ingested cannabis left on the trail, the BBC reported. The dog trainer from Esher, Surrey, described the experience during the trip to Scotland as one of the most frightening days I've ever experienced, adding, "I genuinely thought I was going to lose her." He said, "While that incredible Lochaber Mountain Rescue Team, there is simply no way I could have gotten her safely off the mountain. Carrying a 25-kilogram Labrador down Ben Nevis was impossible on my own." Bloom said she felt incredibly lucky that Tokyo had survived and thanked the rescue crew and vet team for their compassion and dedication. What did we learn here? Take care of your weed. Store it properly and don't let it fly away onto a mountain. "You were there when we needed you most," she added. "A little reminder to fellow dog owners, please be aware that discarded drugs and other toxic substances can sometimes be found even in the most beautiful outdoor places. It was something I'll never imagined we would encounter." Lochaber Mountain Rescue Team said it was pleased that Tokyo had made a full recovery and praised the local vet team in Fort William. A spokesperson added, "It's now suspected that Tokyo, a usually very fit and active working dog, had ingested something that made her critically unwell. Many thanks to Crown Vets for their support, and Tokyo's owner for updates in the photos." According to Vets Now, dogs' brains have more cannabinoids bianoid receptors than humans. So marijuana tends to affect a dog more than it would a human. They need a microdose of that stuff. I mean, do not feed weed to your dog ever, but that's why it affects them stronger, right? It affects them stronger because they have less tolerance for it. So when dogs ingest cannabis, symptoms can appear within 30 to 90 minutes. It may include loss of balance, stumbling, inability to stand, dribbling urine, dilated pupils, and glassy eyes. Basically, they get high.
Oh,
in a case in Somerset in 24, 2 dogs, Margot and Willow, were left unwell and unable to stand after consuming human waste. They ate human... So somebody shat somewhere in public. The dogs were like, "Ooh, look at that! That's tasty." Ate their waste that have cannabis still in it, because cannabis does stay in your biology for a while. And they got high off of eating human waste. Wow. Anyways, that's just a random ass other story. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but similar thing happened in Wiscombe Nature Reserve in 24. So yet again, Winscombe. But there's my shorter story about don't let your dog get high. Watch what they eat.
Right. Or as the headline should read, Poof's party. Poof's as in ends it. I got better ones. Canine cannabis come down crash. Mountaineer mutt makes miraculous munchie march. There you go. I also have a new song for Afro Man, a new verse for Afro Man. Dog version of Afro Man is I was going to lick my junk. I was going to lick my junk, and then I got high. I was going to sniff your butt, but then I got high. I was going to eat some human feces, but then I got high. And I don't know why.
The problem is you did, and then you got high.
You're right. Never mind. How is it still not really? That passes right through your system without any of it being just like eaten up by your stomach acid.
I think it was, but it just not fully digested, so there's still left over. It's like corn kernels, you know. You eat most of the corn, but some of them get past it. Your body's like, that's enough of that. We don't need any more. Send it down the chute.
Yeah. I don't eat edibles, so none of it ends up in my poop. It goes straight into my brain. Yeah.
I mean, in the case from 2024, just why are people shitting in public and not burying it? Like, if you're gonna shit in public, dig a hole and then bury it. For this exact reason.
I don't know, man.
People could step in it. Dogs will eat it. You know, all the disgusting. Anyways.
Someday we'll have the poop police. When AI takes everybody's jobs, all we're going to be is poop police. So it'll just be the human poop police, keeping track of everybody's poop. Everybody will have a job.
They'll invent robots that can smell human feces and go, human feces detected, and then they'll start shooting you in the head.
One of my dystopias is that half the human population will be employed watching the other half, right? So your job is to watch this person. Your job is to watch another person. They're all watching each other, and that's your job. Our jobs are just to watch each other. And they're really shitty jobs. But that's all that rich people have money to pay us for, because robots and computers are taking everything else.
Yeah, there are a couple sci-fi books and stuff about this where, for example, I think in the Expanse universe, everyone on Earth is basically on government-mandated welfare because there's no jobs. Nobody has jobs.
Right, yeah. Well, we got to have people if something happens or repopulate or whatever, but we don't want people because only the rich people are ones that count. I'm sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm. Our next segue is mixed metaphor.
Right before the French Revolution, the let him eat cake. That's where we are in this world right now. Right? The let him eat cakes. I'm sorry, what did we spend? I was talking again. Sorry. Okay, you're going to be mixing metaphors about two of my stories. Golly, I forgot which order they were in. Let's do the soccer one. The English-speaking World Cup. Let's do the World Cup story. And then we'll do the...
Yeah, unless you have one talking about dogs that get high or... And nothing really related to my stories.
Idiot thief, though, the other one. This is from HITC.com. Why English-speaking World Cup fans are choosing Spanish commentary over on Telemundo or Fox. I know that's the only coverage I watch, and I'm like, yeah, I know what's happening. They say the people's names. I mean, it really isn't a lot. I mean, if it's on the radio, you probably need somebody that you understand. But I don't even need sound at all for any sport. Those people that talk, they are never telling me anything. They're never telling me anything. Ever. They're just there to go, here's the obvious. The screen, it can tell you the score, it can tell you everything. But they hire 15 people. I know in the NFL games, they hired 15 people to overcover every stinking game. Like, there's not that much happening. And let's talk about the story. This is from HITC.com. Eoin Morris, a surprising trend has developed over the course of the World Cup for the many fans making a peculiar, why is it peculiar? I guess it's peculiar. That's why it's Weird Wednesday, right? Peculiar decision to snub Fox's English coverage for the tournament in favor of more gripping Spanish language commentary. Telemundo coverage offers something a bit more exciting for fans, even those who don't understand everything that's being said. The commentary offers a more emotional experience. The famous goal. I hope I did that long enough. Probably not. I think it goes for longer. And the fact that many of the best teams of the past few weeks have come from Spanish-speaking countries. Well, that's not necessarily true anymore. It's just Spain, I think, anymore. Spain and Argentina. I think that's it. Of course, it's down to 4, so that kind of eliminates. The commentary offers a more emotional experience. Actually, down to 3 now, aren't they, right? The commentary offers a more emotional experience, a famous ghoul, and the fact that blah, blah, blah. In addition, there are no commercials on Telemundo. Outstanding. During the controversial hydration breaks. All this has resulted in a staggering number of fans giving their broadcast a try. Many haven't gone back on their decision. Who wants to watch commercials? I don't. According to the Associated Press, roughly half of all the fans of the U.S. have given Spanish coverage a try. Those are the figures Nielsen have released in recent days. About 20% of the population is Hispanic, but even those with the lack of Spanish are preferring them. One fan, Jackson Branius, has a pretty valid explanation. Despite not speaking Spanish, the commentary works a treat. The commentary works a treat? Okay. As he put it, I figured out the science here. When they're not talking loud, too loud, nothing is happening. When they get loud, there's a chance. When they get real loud, it's probably going to be a goal. Yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. He's figured out patterns in speech that animals have figured out like in 5 seconds knowing humans, all right? Thank you. Thank you for learning from animals. When American commentators are just doing the game, I don't know what game they're watching. I just don't know, he told AP. They're just talking, apparently, because they're talking about their freaking barber and shit. The American commentators are just insufferable. They are. They got something to say, and it's usually nothing. I'd rather get an excitement in Spanish because essentially what happens is they're talking and they're really, really fast. And when they're getting loud, your brain is like, oh, something's happening, even when I don't know what's happening. They could be describing breakfast for all this guy knows. I'm just saying. How do the teams feel about that's a whole nother stupid story. It goes on to another story about increasing the number of matches or something. Well, that's your story on the quick and down and dirty of you United States viewers have the choice and they're choosing the Spanish language because they don't like this stupid American announcers that don't know anything except how to talk. That's what it seems like to me. Like, American announcers are good for this. They talk and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a personality-driven industry anymore. Oh, I get to hear what Pat McAfee knows about football. No, she's a punter. Who cares? A fucking punter. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Punter. Well, I mean, reminder that, obviously, before the World Cup, Americans don't really care about soccer, in my opinion, right? They just don't care. Right. They'd rather talk about their football, which has no football in it at all, except for when the punter.
In American football, you fail is the only time you kick it. You punt it or you kick off. You kick off to start the game or after you score. That's the only time kicking is really an extra point. Whatever, man.
Yeah. It shouldn't be called
gridiron.
It's not surprising. But it's not surprising that the announcers basically have nothing to really say about it because like you said, like a punter is giving the commentary. That's not even the same sport. Right? Unless they're a backfielder, you mean?
He's more of a sideline guy than he is a live actor. Like halftime. Hey, let's put the guy in there in a sleeveless shirt and a buzz cut. Let's see what he has to say, because he looks like a football player, even though he was a fucking punter. Anyway.
But obviously, the Latin world or the Hispanic world or whatever you want to call it, the whole continent loves football. So they're going to have more shit to say. They're going to be like, yeah, I've been following that guy's career since he was in high school or something, and he's really gotten here. Oh.
There are so many American fans that love European football. It's ridiculous that it's not as popular as it is on TV. But yeah, I just say Fox in particular. Fox Network ruined the NFL. They completely ruined it. They turned it into this noise machine before you watch the game. Boom, pow, all these noises before the game. It's like, I don't need this shit. Show me two teams playing, get rid of the rest of the cameras, instant replay, that's all I need. That's all soccer ever does. I got to this yesterday. Soccer is on TV, I see the game. That's all I see. There's a game, that's all I want to see. They've got it down. Why do I need to see? They'll show a close-up of the players once in a while. That's fine. But the big overall picture of what's happening on the field, that's all anybody really needs. That's all anybody in the game needs. It's all they got. Why can't I just have that? Anywho, you mixed your metaphor, so I guess.
Yeah, okay. Well, actually, my actual mixed metaphor was, Spanish commentary is unique hue, creating musical experiences.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
One of Fox's favorite things, Homer Simpson.
Next
there you
story.
Go. Next story. We're going to talk about instant karma. Instant karma is, I don't know if it was John Lennon's concept, but he wrote the song, so let's give him credit. Instant karma, that's that shit that happens instantly when you're being bad, or even when you're being good. You can get instant karma for being good. Karma works both ways, of course. Then there's cosmic karma, the one that comes back to you years later, like you were cruel to dogs all your life and a friggin' Doberman ripped your head off. That's cosmic karma. A robber received a quick dose of karma when his truck was stolen when he tried to steal from the Verizon store. What are you going to steal from the Verizon store? Phones that are being tracked every minute of their lives? I don't understand this. First of all, he's an idiot. First of all, you're a thief. You're already failing at life. On June 25th, 29-year-old Jalen Goddard initially called police claiming that his car had disappeared, according to body cam footage released by the Howard County Police Department of Maryland. Oh, good old Maryland. But the officer had just received a call about a burglary from a cell phone store nearby and quickly connected the dots. Oh, maybe it's the same thief stole the car that stole the thing. I'm a clever cop. Oh, it was two different people. Robert tries to trick officers by saying he was at McDonald's. Officer Buchanan responded to the stolen vehicle report at 5:44 a.m. from a man standing next to a 7-Eleven claiming that his truck had been robbed, according to a Facebook post from the Howard County Police Department and the TV station, I guess. Goddard says he was at McDonald's when the theft occurred, but only a few minutes before the call, the officer had responded to a burglary from a Verizon store across the street. A dark window had been smashed in, and that's when the officer noticed that something was off about Goddard. Taking a closer look, Buchanan asked the man to show his hands, quickly cuffed him while he played dumb and asked why they were arresting them. Because you got blood on your hands and blood on your glasses, the officer said. There was allegedly blood on his black hoodie, too. When asked whether he was at the Verizon store, Goddard denied it repeatedly. I wasn't at no Verizon store, sir. I promised to God. Okay, let's drag God into this. If you're going to lie and steal, why should we believe your promise to God? God's like, what are you bringing me into this? I don't need a phone. I don't care about Verizon. Let me sleep. It's freaking 5 a.m, for God's sake. Anyway.
For God's sake.
But the Verizon already, exactly, for God's sake.
You're the one who made morning.
He's the only person that could properly use that term. Anyway. But the video reveals additional footage from cameras inside the Verizon store showing a man with glasses racing through the storefront, taking items off a rack and squeezing through a storage rack. When Goddard said he wasn't lying about his truck being stolen, the officer responds, "That's kind of some karma right there, ain't it? Tough shit The man admits he left the keys inside the car. Of course, you want to make a quick getaway, but hell, how long does it take to put keys in a car? Not very long. Don't leave your keys in the car if you're going to steal, if you're going to be a criminal, okay? It's just, somebody might just be following you and going, hey, I got an idea. Let's steal this thief's car. You want to report it because he's a thief. But he's stupid enough to report it. And the cops show up. Just like he's not thinking too smartly there. It's like, yeah, I can get a new car. The man admits that he left the keys inside the car. The officer continues to laugh about karma before Goddard is hauled into the police car. A bulletin from the Howard County Police Department states that Goddard is from Odenton, has been charged with burglary, theft, destruction of property. He's suspected of entering the Verizon wireless store by breaking a window and stealing something. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty. We don't know for sure if this was the actual same guy, but yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. This adds up. This adds up as this guy just ain't too bright. By the way, if you're a thief and you're 29, you're failing at life. And he's got himself a nice little stretch in prison coming up. Hopefully they get the guy who steal his car, because that's not cool either. Don't be stealing cars,
people
you
for
asshole.
the price of one, I guess.
Yeah, that drives up all of our insurance rates. Maybe he just got the catalytic converter. Went and bought his crystal meth and got on with his life. Well, that's what it goes to, or whatever he's hooked on, Mr. Drug Addict. Who's stealing cars at 5 o'clock in the morning? Crackheads are. That's true.
Yeah, sure. I don't agree with that statement, but you can say that.
Crackhead. I'm going to go ahead and say crackhead. I'm thinking this guy that was robbing was a crackhead, too. They're not stealing this shit for their own self.
This thief playfully tossed his keys into the court of chaos.
Yeah.
And the kingdom of consequence did not find it funny. There's your mixed metaphor.
Good trombone. Homer gets a thrill out of this poor guy's luck. Not a poor guy, again. He didn't accidentally bad luck himself into something. He's a fucking thief. He goes to go to jail until he learns how to not be a thief. Yeah. Maybe go to non-thief school. Learn a trade while you're in prison, son. Get out of prison. Make something of yourself. Stop working. Stop trying to steal from people that work. Dang, come on. Anyway.
Fuck the Verizon store. Boo!
Yeah, fuck the Verizon store, but that poor cop didn't do anything to this son of a bitch, you know? It's like, at least the cop got a good laugh out of this idiot, right? It's like, okay. So you're dumb enough to leave your keys in the car while you're robbing a store. That's karma. It's instant karma, as they say. Thief gets stolen from. That's instant karma. Never trust a thief. As they tell you in the Marine Corps.
That's not karma at all, but yeah.
If your bingo card is as Roger references the Marine Corps, here it is. In the Marine Corps, they tell you you're better off sleeping with a murderer as a roommate than a thief, right? A murderer will just kill you. A thief will just steal from you. You don't even know about it.
Yeah,
find out later.
Sneaky.
Yeah, if he's gonna lie, he's a thief. Lying and stealing, the same type of behavior. Okay, what's your spin?
Tell a joke.
Tell a joke.
I will call that on the bingo board.
I'm not sure you're better
Marine.
I'm not sure you're better off than murderer. That's a The first barista, by the way, we started looking things up, was in 1940s. So they're not even as old as daylight savings time.
Damn. You mean like in America or in general? Okay, in Italy. Okay.
The story says the story of the first barista ever. That's what it says.
Okay. Our next weird and wacky story is about a museum spreading peanut butter on the floor to honor a late artist. This is by Molly Quell on AP News, coming out of Rotterdam, the Netherlands. More than 800 pounds of peanut butter, enough for around 15,000 sandwiches, has been spread across the floor of a museum in the Netherlands in tribute to Dutch artist Wim T. Schippers, who died last month. The conceptual artist, who died at the age of 83, so he lived a long life, first created the pindakaas vloer which translates to peanut floor or peanut butter floor, in 1969. The work was unveiled Thursday, the last week, which would have been, what was Thursday? The 9th of July. The 9th of July, it was unveiled. The Pentecost floor was unveiled at the depot offshoot of Museum Boijmans van Beuningen in the Dutch city port of Rotterdam for a 2-month show. Chippers was a beloved nonconformist character in the Netherlands, where he also voiced Ernie and Kermit the Frog in the Dutch version of the Sesame Street. Oh, that's a fun little fact. And created absurdist and silly works that challenge conventional ideas about the meaning of art. Isn't it fantastic that we're standing here looking at peanut butter? Chippers told journalists gathered at the Central Museum in Utrecht in 1997, where Pentecost Vloer was on display for the second time. Chippers created the work as part of a floor covering series, which also included floors covered with glass shards and salt. The aroma, redolent of breakfast and lunch boxes, is what lingers with many who experienced the work firsthand. Museum staff directed visitors for the opening to follow the smell, which was wafting by the ticket counter. Remember, it's enough peanut butter, 800 pounds of peanut butter are enough for 15,000 sandwiches, so you're gonna smell it. You're gonna smell it. The museum staff directed visitors for the opening to follow the smell, which was wafting to the ticket counter, 3 floors below where the artwork is laid out. The thing I remember is the smell, Mike Weissman told the Associated Press. The food photographer and writer saw the 1997 exhibition as a teenager. The art installation may not be for everybody. A sign at the museum entrance warns visitors with peanut allergies that they might not want to enter the space. It took 2 employees of Museum Boijmans van Beuningen several days to spread 40 buckets of peanut butter across 25 square meters or 270 square foot hexagon last week. It was a lot of work, Leon Dunk, one of the 2 men who installed the artwork, told AP. The pair used trowels to smear the peanut butter to a thickness of 2 centimeters or 0.8 inches. Prior to his death, the museum and Chippers discussed how to recreate the work in the future, producing a 20-point plan that included the requirement to apply the peanut butter as smoothly and boringly as possible, and that no one is supposed to lie down in the peanut butter. Chippers did not specify the size of the shape of the work, but he did say it needed to be a smooth peanut butter and that he preferred the Dutch peanut butter brand Calva. The company donated 40 tubs of peanut butter for the work. Oh no, but Calva is now owned by the United States. That was like the big drama a couple months back, that they got bought by the United States. And now everyone's like, another brand down. Multiple visitors stepped down into the sticky artwork when it was on display in 2011. In 1997, the work was vandalized when a group of people placed 12 slices of bread and several bags of hagelslag, which is basically just breakfast sprinkles, which are commonly eaten on bread in the Netherlands, on the floor. It doesn't look bad, Chippers told Dutch newspaper Volkskrant at the time. The sprinkles have been applied with a sense of proportion in a skillful hand. So he didn't really care that they ruined it. For him, it was just part of the artwork, really. Some hagelslag on your peanut butter. That's a bit too much. I think most people, when they have hagelslag, they usually do butter. They don't use peanut butter. I think that's just too many things, but if that's how you eat your Dutch breakfast, I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. There is my story about wiping peanut butter all over the floor. For art, I guess, and for the long life of Chippers at 83.
Right. And that reminds me of a joke about peanut butter. I have a new band, right? I have a new band. It's called PB&J. We don't have any songs. We just jam.
Oh, dear.
What happens when you mix crunchy peanut butter with creamy peanut butter? Crunchy and creamy. What do you get?
No idea.
You get crummy peanut butter. There you go.
Oh.
Oh my God! There's a rumor going around about this. Display at the museum about peanut butter. There's a rumor going around, but I don't want to spread it.
Oh,
Yikes! Oh, there's your terrible jokes. Yeah. Anyway. My next story. The next spin. You just spin.
No, I have another story.
Oh, you have another story.
We're going to talk about Pitbull entering the Guinness Book of Records with the world's largest crowd of balds. This is on Il Fatto Quotidiano, which is an Italian paper. The feat was carried out on Friday, July 10th, during the rapper's concert at the BST Hyde Park Festival in the heart of London, where Pitbull was the main star of the evening. Oh, you don't know anything about Pitbull? Yeah, you don't know Pitbull?
I forgot that was a person. I forgot it was a person. I was like,
he's a Cuban, I believe. He's technically
I understand.
What you would call a white Cuban. He's a white Cuban from Miami. That's who he is. Pitbull, whose real name is Armando Cristian Perez, has set a new record. The American rapper of Cuban origin, known internationally for his success as Give Me Everything, Timber, and Hotel Room Service, entered the Guinness Book of Records thanks to a singular initiative promoted by his fans, the largest gathering ever recorded of people wearing an artificial skull cap in imitation of his famous shaved head. The artist stressed his desire to represent all the balds in the world. For the fans present, the event was much more than just a concert. It became a chance to get into the history of music in Guinness Book of Records, all together under a symbolic and gigantic bald head. Despite a temperature close to 31 degrees Celsius, by the way, thousands of people enthusiastically participated in the initiative. Visibly excited, Pitbull thanked the audience by declaring that the moment represented the story that is written before our eyes. The feat was held on July 10th during the rapper's concert at Hyde Park in London, where Pitbull was the main star of the evening. As many as 22,141 viewers wore the bald caps features. The latex wigs that mimic a fully shaved head vastly exceeded the minimum limit of 2,000 participants required. They were like, in order to break this record, you just need 2,000 people wearing bald caps. How about 22,000? Whoops. The curious tradition stems...
Sorry, I'll interrupt later. Go ahead.
The curious tradition stems from the passion of fans from the unmistakable look of Mr. Worldwide, aviator glasses, goatee, mustache, and above all, its famous bald head. In recent years, many supporters had begun to show up at his concerts by copying his style, turning the gesture into a real viral trend on social networks. The idea of the record was proposed by BBC radio host Greg James, who involved the singer and festival organizers in the challenge. According to Guinness World Records, Judge Will Munford, it was a whole new record, never attempted before. The participant count was carried out with the help of drones and volunteers, while Guinness experts verified that all caps were worn properly and that no hair was visible. They always have to do that to make it seem like it's a real thing, right? This is a real record, so we have to be very accurate, and people have to have no hair showing, or you'll be disqualified. It's like, come on, guys. Why you the Guinness World Record book is always so serious about such silly things.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's a beer company, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's a beer company.
You always have to have your little world record being broken on Weird and Wacky Wednesday, and that's our one there. The most amount of bald heads in Hyde Park, London. There you go.
Luckily, I know an ancient joke about this, and I started laughing when I pictured the crowd. Maybe you got a picture of the crowd?
I do have a picture of the crowd.
My joke is this. 2 bald guys went to a Pitbull concert. They just made an ass of themselves. Because if you look at 2 bald guys standing side by side, they look like an ass. They look like 2 butt cheeks. So there you go. Oh my God!
Hilarious.
I know. I think it's funny. Why is he called Pitbull? I wonder. Did he chew somebody's leg off once or something?
Maybe he wanted to seem like really hard, you know, like, oh, don't mess with me, I'm a Pitbull, I'm built, I've got the upper arm strength, though. Because, you know, that's what Pitbulls are known for, being really strong and muscular and protective.
Bred for fighting and dog competition.
Yeah, dog fighting. Yeah.
For dog fighting. That's why
So
they exist.
I'm sure that's why. No, actually,
Yeah.
they exist originally to protect children.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
that's
their
why
original
they've
origin.
been. That's why they were bred into like whatever.
You
by
can
the
dog
nut
fight
job.
with a lot of dogs. Dobermans.
But if you want to
Huskies,
win, you've got to build the
Shiba Inus.
perfect dog-killing machine like a pit bull. Anyway, let's.
I don't know about that, but let's go to our next segue.
Sure, that was their preferred breed, and they were bred for that reason. Let's talk about Cubans again. You were just talking about pit bulls, not the dog, but bald people. What do
Got
we
the
get?
same segue again. That's the fourth time we've rolled the same segue twice. All right, now I have an alliteration headline. Take it away.
Okay, Cubans turn to solar-powered electric tricycles. In ingenuity, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. APnews.com. Andrea Rodriguez has a story. Cuba's iconic vintage cars have all but disappeared. In their place, small but electric bike tricycles, most of them made in China, have become a primary means of transportation for hundreds of thousands of Cubans grappling with the prolonged fuel crisis, which was created by the awful person we have living in this White House here in America, who I refuse to acknowledge it kind of leader.
We haven't really talked about on the show, but for anyone who doesn't know, there's a huge anti-Cuban
Blockade.
military action blockade happening. Yeah, they're literally bombing fishermen from orbit with drones and saying it was a drug carrier. We can't prove it though because we burned the fisherman's boat to smithereens, so you'll never know. We just murdered somebody in cold blood. Anyways,
That was more Venezuela.
my rant.
That was more about Venezuela, but the blockade is Russians and Chinese are getting through the blockade, I guarantee you, but not enough. These are no ordinary electric tricycles. Many Cubans have outfitted them with solar panels, allowing the vehicles to recharge without relying on the nation's strained power grid. The three-wheelers are a far cry from old-timers that only a year ago cruised the streets spewing clouds of black smoke. This is how people get around now, said 40-year-old Lysier de la Cruz, who owns one of these vehicles. The tricycles, which cost between $2,000 and $4,000, are used to transport goods and serve fixed routes once covered by buses. While their price is out of reach for most Cubans, many have sold their older gasoline-powered cars to buy the tricycles. Others got them from relatives abroad, where they're generally cheaper. And some small business owners even used their profits to invest in them, expecting to recoup the costs. In January, Diaper Donnie, who unfortunately is still clinging to life, threatened to impose tariffs on countries that sell oil to Cuba, which produce only about 40% of the fuel it needs. Since then, just a single oil tanker has arrived on the island in late March, down from about 8 a month previously. The impact on daily life in Cuba has been significant. Yeah, he's trying to punish people for being brown. That's what he's doing. Rolling blackouts.
He's punishing people for not being part of the new Puerto Rico, basically. Hey, we want your land. Give us your land or we'll kill you all slowly.
History of Cuba is it was an independent country, and then the mob rolled in there and had a bunch of casinos, and they were making all kinds of money hand over fist. And the regime, I'll think of his name, Bautista, the guy who was in charge. He was pretty shitty, so he was taking mob payouts, not taking care of the people. The people rose up, and Castro and Che Guevara overthrew the government, and instead of helping Cuba, the United States said, you got rid of our mob buddies. We're gonna punish you.
For the rest of eternity, it seems like, right? Not a single president has ever overturned these stupid sanctions on Cuba.
Yeah. So. Obama tried, but again, oh my God, Castro's 106, you gotta punish him more. It's like, God damn it, man.
Yeah, reminder, for the most part, Obama was constantly fighting the House, right, and the Senate, which was constantly not democratic. I think only like once was it not.
You didn't lose the sanctions, it was a big controversy. Rolling blackouts have worsened. Amid the crisis, electric tricycles have become indispensable. They transport goods, services, people, and also collecting garbage. Hello. People with heavy shopping bags can catch rides on tricycles, like slow, hot, and uncomfortable ride, but it's better than walking. If you can pay for it, you just take it. Otherwise, you can go anywhere, says Berta Ferrer, a 53-year-old clerk at a store in central Havana, before she works 4 days a week. She pays about 500 Cuban pesos, less than $1 for the ride, a significant expense in the country where monthly salaries average about $10 for state workers and roughly $40 for private sector employees. When we're bitching about salaries in Cuba and saying, oh, they don't pay them anything, they have free medical care and they have amazingly good doctors. Cuba does have good doctors.
The best doctors in the world, according to some health officials,
Cuba,
which is impressive for
excellent medical school. Be poo-pooing on their doctors. Free medical care. You can bitch about, oh my God, they only make $10. But shit, what do I make after I pay for my medical expenses, right? What do I even make after a year, you know? It eats up my income, that's for sure. It might say...
Because of the sanctions, they're not allowed to share their doctors either. Because if you have a Cuban doctor, you get sanctioned by the United States. It's so fucked up.
And for all of that money I get an insurance company, I get nothing. I get, oh, you denied coverage. So yeah, let's not minimize the fact that people don't have to pay for their own medical expenses. There's their story on the quick conversion of, I don't know why electric cars don't come with solar panels. I have no idea why that's not already a thing. Electric cycles, everything that runs in a freaking battery like that should have a solar panel. At least some rudimentary thing that when you die out in the road, you can go, hey, you know what? When the sun comes out, we can charge our battery, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you're also on an island, so the likelihood of the sun actually being out is pretty high.
Yeah, Cuba has a lot of sun. So yeah, they should definitely...
Wind should be good too, but it's harder to go off to the coast and build solar farms when you get bombed for being a drugs peddler or whatever.
Will not forget, the United States is on Cuba. We have a military presence in Guantanamo Bay. I've been there. Actually been there. I've been there twice. Refueling stops. I got to drive around. I got to drive around all around it. Like Humvee stuff.
I also recently learned that if I am an American citizen and I stay at a government supported hotel, I'm considered a traitor to the country. That's written in law.
That's because we're run by Stephen Miller and his ilk.
Yeah. All right. I'm just saying, that's just an interesting thing, right? Like, you're a traitor to the country because you stayed at a government-paid hotel. That's it, right? The line is so low to become a traitor to the United States. I would love to go to Cuba.
I would love. That's one of those trips I wish I could go on. Go to regular Cuba and hang out. I don't care if I don't speak Spanish. I'm out in Colombia, Mexico, so it doesn't bother me. Anyway, let's have the headline should read:
Carrying countless carefree commuters, or soar sparking sustainable streets with solar-powered serenity, and also seeking solace in sustainable solutions. There's all your...
All right, one more story.
Human, you can't break down the human spirit. That's what that story tells you.
Don't forget, Cuba has an embargo against American cars for all these years. They can't buy American cars. So they've been driving cars from the early 60s and late 50s for all this time. Just fixing them up, making sure they run. Machine shops creating parts, right? Not even the original parts. So yeah, ingenuity, necessity, the mother of invention. Our next story is about a tourist who, I watched the video, and of course the comments in the video all called this guy a moron. All I saw was a guy getting out of his car at a rest area and getting tossed and running like hell, trying to get away from a freaking buffalo. TheGuardian.com, Yellowstone tourist tossed 8 feet in the air by bison, which you haven't seen it by now. We're going to show it to you. I seen it. It was kind of bizarre, but he's fine, I guess. He's a grandfather, older than me. This is from Richard Loosecombe, Guardian.com. A grandfather flipped in the air by a bull bison at Yellowstone National Park recently has spoken out for the first time about the encounter that broke his femur in 4 places. Well, that's a serious fucking injury. Your femur's the biggest bone in your body.
Pretty dangerous.
Saying he believes the animal spared his life by choosing not to gore him. Yeah, it could have been the end. Pretty much sure the bison are in heat right now. They are out of their mind and they will try to attack anything, as they are crazed by the mating. What is it? The mating, the inane mating thing in the back of their brain that says, kill anything that's taken my territory. But he's not The guy is almost completely blameless. I'm sorry. The entire incident, he said, was not as catastrophic as it could have been. Carl McDaniel, 65, gave an account of his sobering run-in with nature. In an interview with CNN on Monday, one day after the surgery to set his broken leg, and amid hospital treatment for other injuries, including severe bruising. We were about 100 yards away. McDaniel, who there was my story, just minimized itself. Said McDaniel, did I say he was from Australia? I don't know where I got that from. Said McDaniel, who lives in Washington State, said the moment he and his 13-year-old grandson spotted the bison during the after-dinner walk at the Bridge Bay campsite at Wyoming Park on Friday. That was a campsite. McDaniel said the bison did not appear as if he was aggressive from his vantage point. He was not having problems, and we took some pictures and he decided to walk on. Then McDaniel said the animal charged him. His grandson was not hurt, but in an episode captured on video by a photographer and viewed on YouTube by over 1.1 million, probably 5 million by now, the bison estimated at 2,000 pounds, chased down McDaniel and flipped him in the air with its horned head. There was little time to decide what to do, he said. At this point, he was within 100 yards. He could be beat to us in seconds, so I told my grandson to want to run direction, and I went the other to try to draw him away. When I was on the ground immobile, unable to move, he was right on top of me. He could have stomped on me, he could have gored me, but he could have done almost anything to take my life, and he did not do so. A group of campers, including a photographer, the guy that took the video, Mike McLeod, quickly descended on the scene, shouting and clapping their hands to scare the animal away and allow McDaniel to receive first aid. All the people that were there were amazing, McDaniel told CNN. They were all positive, always trying as best they could. Emergency personnel responded quickly. U.S. National Park Service said in a statement and took him to the local hospital. Medical staff made the decision to transport him to another facility in Bozeman, requiring a 2-hour ambulance ride. Ooh, I hope he got some morphine for that 2-hour ambulance ride. That's why they carry morphine, man. Oh, my leg is broken in 4 places. These sons of bitches, give me some morphine. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Anyway, he said he was strong enough to be able to stand on Monday, one day after surgery. There goes my screen again. One day after surgery. I'll be doing physical therapy for the next few days to get to walk, but the next few days? Okay. But it was not as catastrophic as it could have been. I was in good spirits. And now he's a worldwide celebrity for being tossed by a bison. Okay, we're going to finish the story. I was just trying to get some dramatic
bison toss.
And we're going to talk.
It happens every year during the summer.
Yeah.
Or during this time, even.
McLeod had a slightly different take on the episode, describing the animal as agitated, pissed off, and charging it anything and everything in a vivid account. The photographer talking about in a vivid account of the episode published on Saturday, Cowboy State Daily. I was just trying to get some dramatic footage of that bison having a fit. He said, adding that McDaniel and his grandson were at a respectful distance. 100 yards is a long damn way. It's like, 100 yards, that thing ain't gonna charge us. Oh shit, here it comes. From the animal, and not done anything to cause it to charge. And you can see in the video, he didn't do anything. On providing assistance to McDaniel, Cloud told New York Times on Sunday he was in a lot of pain with his leg. Otherwise, he was conscious the whole time, in good spirits, joking. McDaniel serves on a number of community boards. The person who was attacked was McDaniel. Gotta make sure they both have a Mick at the beginning of their names. McDaniel, the guy who was attacked, served on a number of community boards during his home in Kendall, Washington State's Cascadia Daily News reported. He told CNN that his grandson visited Yellowstone every summer to spend time together. Never forget this trip, kid. Bison rutting or mating season in Yellowstone ruts from June or until September. You see a bison and it's obviously a male, stay away. The NPS statement about the bison attack that McDaniel survived did not state if the animal may have been aggressive because it was navigating the heart of rutting season. That's obviously what was happening.
Yeah.
Bison are not normally aggressive like that. There's your story. Number 4 for today.
Number 4 story.
Or the headline should read:
Bellowing bison boldly barreled, bewildered. Why am I so angry? I just want to rut with someone. You're not, fuck you. You're not a female bison. I hate you. Grizzled grandfather gallantly grapples the ground. He's like, oh God, please don't toss me. Please don't step on me. A wounded warrior from Washington withstands a wild washout. Which he's lucky he didn't get freaking tossed into the lake or something, yeah.
Not the rodeo clown, like the dummy that the rodeo clown throws out.
Yeah, that's probably what it looked like. We can make jokes about it because he's alive, so you know.
Yeah, we can laugh because his skull didn't crash when he came down to Earth. Or broken leg, and he's a good spirits, I suppose.
He seemed in pretty good spirits about it, right? He was just like, I'm just happy to be alive, man. I could have got my head squashed in by a hoof. So
yeah, when he got buffaloed, literally buffaloed.
Hello, Nico. Thank you for your diamond acorn, and your bison burgers are tasty. I think I've had bison once.
I've had a bunch of times.
They're pretty big animals. I can't remember if I've had it multiple times. I can't remember, but I know the one time I had it. We're looking for a accurate metaphor simile for my culture news.
What does the buffalo say when he sends his child off to college? He says,
"What?
Bye, son. Bye, son."
Oh.
Accurate metaphor. Okay.
That is gonna have to be a bad dad joke, or just a dad joke.
Guy.
Okay, let's go to my culture news, which is about the gross things Europeans eat, and they're considered delicacies. Because wacky and weird news. So I hope you haven't eaten breakfast yet, because this might make you lose your breakfast. This is from Maja Kunert and Veronica Schur and Donna McCabe on Euronews Culture. Fermented fish, maggot cheese, and slippery comfort food, Europe's cuisines offer dishes that repel some and fascinate others, as Berlin's Disgusting Food Museum shows. That's right, if you want to go see the disgusting food, there's a whole museum for it in Berlin. Europe's kitchens, there are specialties that can make even seasoned gourmets recoil at first. Yet disgust is subjective. What is seen as time-honored delicacy in one country raises eyebrows elsewhere, or even prompts of physical rejection. The Disgusted Food Museum in Berlin shows visitors just how narrow the line between disgust, curiosity, and culinary tradition can be. The concept originated in Malmö in Sweden. The museum has also been open in Berlin since 2021. The exhibition does not just aim to shock, but to explain why people react so differently to food. We want to show the disgust in something that affects us all, and it is culturally conditioned and also rooted in evolutionary biology, says museum director Alexandra Bernsteiner, and we do that with something we ideally do 3 times a day, eating. The museum therefore also sees itself a place as for change of perspective. The aim is to dismantle prejudices and bring different cultures, but also different perspectives on food, closer together. Disgust is culturally learned, just like racism. Almost 100 unusual foodstuffs from around the world can be admired at the Disgusting Food Museum, where visitors are invited to confront their squeamishness. There are disgust responses often triggered by smell, texture, and appearance, or by knowing how the product is made. Hot dogs, anyone? At the same time, the feeling is culturally shaped. What repels some people is an everyday food or even a source of culinary pride elsewhere. This is precisely where the museum comes in. It shows the food always carries identity, memory, and a sense of belonging. And disgust also protects. According to Alexandra Bernsteiner, the first reflex is often the body's warning signal, and at the same time it can change through familiarity, knowledge, and context. Like, some people really like anise, right?
Yeah.
And some people don't like it. And root beer is disgusting to some people. Or licorice is disgusting to some people, and then other people love it. Germany, too, has its culinary borderline cases. One example is bread soup, a simple dish made from stale bread and stock, often refined with onions and fat. What sounds like a way of using up leftovers usually stands for a long tradition of frugal cooking. Far from striking is Maite cheese from Saxe-Anhalt, which is also German. In this specialty, the cheese matures with a heap of cheese mites, whose droppings create the characteristic aroma. Mite cheese. To outsiders, that sounds like a culinary nightmare. In the region, it's associated with craftsmanship and tradition. Jellied meat, or salsa, also falls in this category. Pieces of meat are set in aspic or jelly, and the wobbly texture can quickly cause irritation. Salmagen from the palatinate, meanwhile, is a hearty mix of meat, potatoes, and spices cooked in a pig's stomach, similar to a sheep's stomach, right? For I forget what it's called. The Scottish delicacy. It is precisely this casing that initially puts many people off, even though the dish is firmly rooted in the region's cuisine. In Italy, it's home to casu marzu, perhaps Europe's best-known disgusting dish. The Sardinian cheese is deliberately infested with fly larvae, which further ferments it. The maggots are then often eaten along with the cheese. Fly maggots and cheese. The result is a very soft, intensely smelling pecorino that many find off-putting, but which is regarded locally as a delicacy. Sea urchins from southern Italy fit this pattern too, especially in coastal regions. They are opened fresh and scooped straight from the shell. Delicious, yeah. Their raw and intensely marine flavor and unfamiliar unfamiliar texture makes them the test on the digest threshold for many people. For gourmets, it's precisely where their appeal lies. Sweden, of course, is represented by surströmming, the notorious fermented herring. The dish is known above all for its overpowering smell, less for its taste. There's even a law, I think, that says you can't open it in a public place. You have to open it in your own private home. Even opening the tin is seen as a test of courage. In Sweden, surströmming is a traditional food. Abroad, it's often a full-on assault on the senses. At the Disgusting Food Museum in Berlin, a fresh tin of surströmming is opened once a month for this particular brave visitors. France, the land of haute cuisine, also has specialties that are not to everyone's taste. One particular striking example is andouillette. The coarsely textured sausage contains offal, usually pork intestines and sometimes stomach, and is famous for its pungent smell. In regions such as Troyes or Lyon, it is part of a classical-looking local cooking. Poland, too, has dishes that cause bewilderment outside the country. The best known is probably kaszanka, a groat's sausage with buckwheat or barley spices and pig's blood. It reflects a cuisine built on filling, simple, and robust ingredients. Even more unusual is Zerzinia, a duck blood soup with a sweet and sour note. Zurich, the sour rice soup, can often come as a surprise to outsiders, as its tangy fermented flavor is a long way from the familiar ideas of what soup should taste like. But there are more unusual delicacies from other corners of the world. From Iceland comes hakarl, fermented and dried meat from a Greenland shark. The specialty is known above all its sharp ammonia smell. It is normally served with brennivín, a typically Icelandic schnapps that is supposed to help when facing with the intense tasting experience. From Asia comes the two classic smell-based specialties, durian and stinky tofu. Durian is often dubbed a stink fruit, while stinky tofu lives up to its name. Both foods show the disgust often starts with smell, not taste, because a lot of your taste is actually your olfactory senses. The first sensory impression often determines whether something is perceived as a delicacy or an imposition. The Disgusting Food Museum makes all this more than just a collection of bizarre dishes. The exhibition presents unusual foods from all over the world and wants visitors to question their own disgust thresholds. Anyone who wants to can sample an item at the tasting bar, including edible insects. Delicious. The future of our food, everyone. I swear to you, in 50 years, we're going to be eating insects and insects made into fake meat and that kind of stuff because it is the most sustainable food. This is where the museum's real appeal lies. Disgust is not treated as a purely negative reaction, but as the starting point for a conversation about culture, habit and consumption. Alexandra Bernsteiner says many visitors come driven by curiosity, not just skepticism. Young couples and children are particularly keen to try new things. That fits with a simple insight. What seems alien to us today can over time become a fixed part of our diet. What one person finds inedible is, for someone else, a familiar dish steeped in tradition. Ultimately, the culinary preferences are also shaped by resources that we may have in the future, like our crickets. Delicious crickets. So there's your wacky story about the Wacky and Weird Museum. Serving up, not just introducing, but serving up undelectable foods from all over the globe.
My metaphor is about the future, right? The future, of course, we're going to be eating insects anyway, so you might as well get ready for it. And what would be the best insects? What would be the best analogy for humans to insects? I would say we could have ants as the cowboys, right? And cockroaches as the cattle. So ants are the right. So we're herding all these roaches, and we got ants as cattle. So I asked AI to write me a song based on Home on the Range.
Oh, right, here we go.
If it was about ants herding roaches, here goes. Oh, give me a crumb where the big beetles roam, where the sugar and chocolate lay, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the kitchen lights stay off all day. Crawl, crawl on the counter, where the sweet drops crumbs drift away, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the kitchen lights stay off all day. And often at night, when the pantry is bright, when the glow of the coffee pot bars, have I stood here amazed, and I asked as I gaze, is the sugar can match all the stars? If this sugar can match all the stars, I don't know what that means.
Sugar can, like it's supposed to be a play on words. Sugar can instead of sugar cane.
If the sugar can match all the stars, have I stood here amazed? I asked as I gaze. If this sugar can match all, I guess if the sugar is there enough sugar as there is a bunch of stars, I guess. And of course, the chorus: crawl, crawl, crawl on the counter, where the sweet drops and crumbs drift away, where the seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the kitchen lights stay off all day.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
Oh! Your metaphor about ants being cowboys and roaches being cattle. That's our future. Not for humans.
Oh my God!
Thank you for that.
That's my own dystopia for that song. Let's have a spin. My last thing.
Also, what did Cal say? You don't like root beer, cows? I can't believe I love root beer. Give me root beer every day.
Root beer floats. Black cows. Drink your big black cow and get out of here.
Cows doesn't like a black cow. No, it wasn't it was haggis. I was thinking of the word haggis. Haggis is made in sheep bladders, and that dish from Italy was made in pig bladders, or whatever.
Try a black cow with cream soda. Natural together.
Cream soda is good too, yeah. Okay, let's roll our segue.
In history, July 15th, 1381. Blink, blink, blink. What do we get?
All right, I'm going to give you some bad puns for this day in history.
1381, John Ball, who invented the ball. No, he didn't. He did not invent the ball. Sorry, I'm making that up. John Ball, who advocated for a classless society, was executed for his role in the peasants' revolt. Everybody's favorite revolt.
Oh, yeah. Fuck the aristocracy.
Yeah, we didn't have gunpowder at all in those days. We couldn't really take over, so that sucked. The first significant popular rebellion in English history was the peasants' revolt. They go peasants. Didn't last, unfortunately. 1815, several weeks after his abdication, the Emperor Napoleon boarded the HMS Bellerophon to ask British officials for protection. They decided to send him into exile on the island of St. Helena. The British decided, okay, we'll spare you, since you're not really Napoleon anyway.
Oh, right, because it's conspiracy that Napoleon died, yeah.
That's why he stuck in battle, by the way. He wasn't the real Napoleon. 1883, circus performer Tom Thumb, whose real name is Charles Stratton, died at the age of 45. He was known to the world as Tom Thumb. He worked in Barnum and Bailey Circus. He lived to be 45. He died in 1883. Tom Thumb, one of your more famous circus performers. He's still famous to this day. Yes, Tom Thumb. Not his real name. Again, let's just call him Charles Stratton. Old Charlie. 1922, Leon Max Lederman was born in New York City. Who's he? Well, he was a co-recipient of the 1988 Nobel Prize for Physics for his research on neutrinos. No, that's not a exotic new citrus fruit. It's a small particle. It's a small particle the size of quark, subatomic particle. 1988, the thriller Die Hard, which apparently is a Christmas movie, even though it was released in July, was first released in U.S. theaters, launching. Maybe that's why it's Christmas in July is a thing now. Launching a hugely popular series and helping establish Bruce Willis as an action star. Did that really establish him as? I guess it did. He was basically a TV star until then. 1997, Italian fashion designer Gianni Versace was killed. He's murdered at his home in Florida by a serial killer. A male prostitute killed him, and that guy was probably killed a lot of people we don't even know about, right? That's what killers are. They kill until they get caught. 2006, co-founder Jack Dorsey. We know what that is, right? Twitter! Yeah, Twitter started this day 20 years ago. Jack Dorsey, Evan Williams, not the guy who makes booze, and not the guy who plays safety for the Green Bay Packers, a different Evan Williams, not the whiskey guy. And Biz Stone, I don't think that's his real name. Biz Stone publicly launched Twitter, and within a following decade, social media platform had more than 300 million users. I don't use it. I have no idea why people think it's so great to listen to people complain constantly about everything.
Isn't that what the show is?
No, this is a news show. This is not social media. We have interaction, but it's more or less just us talking. Twitter is just every jackass in the world gets an opinion, and we got to hear it. And most of the opinions are useless. And we've discovered that. I don't know why it's still a thing. But since the news media only goes to Twitter now, that's why it exists. The news media doesn't do their job anymore. They just report Twitter, and that's it. That's all they do. That's their only job. The news media doesn't do anything anymore. Our featured event, 1835, a war fought over Toledo. Why would you want Toledo, Ohio? Yeah, it's between Michigan and Ohio. In 1835, a only bloodshed during the Toledo War fought between Ohio and Michigan. This is a perfect story for Weird Wednesday. Over a disputed border occurred on this day, and this must be where the term Holy Toledo came from.
Yeah,
occurred on this day.
They're fighting over it like it was a freaking Crusades.
This whole entire war took place in a tavern.
When
Ohio partisan Too Sticky, his name was Too Sticky, TWO, Stickney, not Sticky, Too Stickney stabbed the Michigan Sheriff Joseph Wood with a penknife. Ooh, a penknife. That must have penetrated 1.5 inches. The war ended 2 years later when Toledo was awarded to Ohio and the resource-rich Upper Peninsula to Michigan. Wait a minute here. Michigan got the Upper Peninsula, which Wisconsin should have by all rights because of their war with Ohio. This makes no fucking sense. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever. The Upper Peninsula is nowhere near Ohio. Ohio never had a claim on that. Why does Michigan get extra land? Wisconsin had no claim because Wisconsin wasn't a state yet. It was still a territory, but shit. That should hold. Nobody in Upper Michigan has anything in common with anybody in Lower Michigan at all. They have more in common with me. Me from the northeastern Wisconsin. They have more in common with me. People from Michigan, they're just different. Go talk to somebody from Southern Michigan. They're nothing like
I know only people from Central Michigan. Is that considered Southern?
Yoopers are separated from the rest of Michigan by two lakes, Lake Superior and Lake Michigan. The channel between the two. And it's a big body of water. Ain't no small thing. Otherwise, that's part of Wisconsin. Should always be. In fact, all them people are Packer fans. Why would they be Lions fans? Ugh. Are you kidding me? Ugh. They never won anything. Well, not in my lifetime anyway. But there's a map here of Ohio. Yeah, they fought over Toledo. Other things that happened in this day, 1965, Mariner 4, uncrewed spaceship launched by NASA in 1964. 1 year later, flew by Mars, proving how long it takes to get to Mars. We had a theory, and we proved it. The pictures proved that the planet's so-called canals were illusions. We were just seeing it from a telescope, and we just thought it was, it's got water. Nope. No water, no Martians, just no green cheese, no red cheese, nothing. Other born this day was Dutch painter Rembrandt. Rembrandt van Rijn was born in this day. The most famous painter in history, one of the greatest storytellers in history of art, known for his exceptional ability to render people in their various moods and dramatic guises. One of the Dutch masters, Rembrandt, is to this very day, we call somebody that can't paint at all, that has no artistic ability, we call them, nice job, Rembrandt, sarcastically.
Yeah.
There you go. Rembrandt's is a slur for somebody that can't draw at all.
A sarcastic slur, yeah.
Sarcastic slur. National Day today is National Pet Fire Safety Day. And coincidentally, it is also National Hot Dog Day. Is that a coincidence? I don't know, but it seems like a hell of a coincidence for it to be literal hot dog day and, the thing you eat in a bun. National Pet Fire Safety Day, your Dalmatian, your big dog that rides in a fire truck and helps rescue people. He ain't just there going for a ride. National I Love Horses Day. We love horses. We love rescue pets. Social Media Giving Day. It's Twitter, birthday of Twitter. So give money on. Don't just sit there and give your stupid opinion nobody cares about anyway. You're just there to feel good about your stupid opinion. A bunch of bots agreeing with you does not validate your opinion because it's a stupid opinion. That's what Twitter's there, to validate stupid opinions. For 20 years, they've been validating stupid, wrong opinions. There are wrong opinions.
We already had this rant.
In my opinion, the Earth is the center of the universe. You don't get to have that opinion. In my opinion, the Earth is flat. You don't get to have that opinion.
No, I did not know Bruce Willis had a music video in 1987 called "Respect Yourself." There you go. Fun fact.
Oh hell yeah, he remade. Yeah, he had a group called Bruno and the something or others. Bruno and something. Yeah, "Respect Yourself," which is a I want to say Otis Redding song. National Gummy Worm Day is the last one. Is National Give Something Away Day. So it's a lot about giving. Give away some gummy worms on Twitter if you got a chance. So that's everything for today. No haikus. Your jokes, your jokes, your songs, everything for the Weirdness Day, Wednesday, July 15th, on before hot dogs and gummy worms. And do not, and appreciate your legitimately hot dogs, the dogs that run into a fire to save your stupid ass. Let's appreciate them.
You're stupid ass.
Well, I'm saying,
like, sometimes it happens by accident.
Yeah, I know. But the dog didn't do it. The dog didn't do it. I know that.
Sometimes dogs could cause fires too. Actually, that's
not the fire rescue dog. The fire rescue dog did not do it. Okay. All right. Let's have whatever pun. Let's have us some puns. I know I had some punny stories.
Don't go baking my heart.
Oh. That's what you've done, Tiki Beast. Don't go baking my heart. Don't go baking my. Don't go baking my.
What do the fire dogs drink in the morning?
Beer.
Earl Greyhound tea.
Oh. More puns.
In this race, the wiener takes all.
I hope it was a wiener dog.
Had to sit in the shade because it was the hot dog.
Wait a minute. If your dachshund is a fire rescue dog, well, it's a poor fire rescue dog. Can't even climb stairs. But my fire dog has to take the elevator. But
yeah, exactly.
He can legitimately be a three-time hot dog. He's a wiener, he's a wiener, and he's a hot dog, and of course he's a hot dog because he's showing off, right? I'm a hot dog. It's showing off. Anyway,
what is a streamer's least favorite dog, Nico? A dachshund. Oh no. Because streamers get doxxed all the time, you know? They get... Yeah.
Yep.
Be careful when it's raining cats and dogs, or else you might step in a poodle.
Oh, that's the oldest pun in the world. Oh my God, that's a bazooka
also,
joke.
Also, good morning, Rick.
You got a Trump
very good morning, Rick.
We should have done the trombone story.
Trombone story.
The 600 trombones in Australia.
All right.
All right, man.
I think, are there any international days today? There is! It's World Youth Skills Days. That's right. If you're a youth, get some skills. Because that basically sets you up for life, and then you're stuck in that job forever. Until you turn like 40 or 60 and you go, I didn't like doing this my whole life. I'm going to switch into becoming a guitar player. And then you start a new thing. Hosted by UNESCO and UNEVOC, the webinar convenes governments, educators, employers, and young people to confront a pivotal question. What will it take to equip every young person with the competencies they need to thrive in a shared future? Well, don't worry, we'll have jobs, right? Like you said at the beginning of the show today. We're all just going to be paraded around by drones, so you don't need any skills anymore. The AI will replace all our jobs, and we'll just be walking around looking, watching each other, right? What are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm here to watch you, and you're here to watch my neighbor, and that's all we're doing. Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be your neighbor. You'll have to commute to it, right? You'll have to commute to a job, so the drivers that drive you places have jobs too. Oh no, it'll be a self-driving car.
Our fun fact about the youth, I guess the youth in labor is 273 million children and young people are out of school. 1 in 5 individuals aged 15 to 24 are not employed, educated, or in training. 28.2%, or nearly 1 in 3 of young women are not employed, educated, or in training, compared to only 13% of young men. 40% of total skills sets no longer match job market needs. As in, I learned how to program. Oh, we don't need programmers anymore. We have AI for that. Oh, great. Well, I wasted all my education, and I spent money on that education. That's great. 65 million youth were unemployed globally in 23. 22% of jobs will transform by 2030 due to technical disruption, as in AI. Near the 1% of poor rural women complete secondary school in many countries. 22% of jobs will transform by 2030 due to... Oh, I already did that one. Read that one. 86% of students do not feel prepared for the AI-enabled workplace. 70% of youth, or 450 million, are economically disengaged due to the lack of adequate skills for the labor market. What skills? We don't even need skills anymore. Just have the AI do it. Anyways, that's our sad state of today. Give support to the youth so that they have something to do. They feel very disenfranchised. I'm not a youth anymore, and I feel disenfranchised. What am I supposed to be doing right now? Nothing. AI will just do my job. Movies are just going to be created by AI now. What do we need? We don't need set anymore. We don't need gaffers. We don't need editors.
I gotta do them part-time jobs.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta do. 20-hour-a-week job.
But this has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we finish off another Wacky and Weird Wednesday. I hope you've enjoyed all the wacky and weirdness that is going on in on our globe, because it's not all doom and gloom. I know I just ranted about everything being doom and gloom, but sometimes you're tossed in the air by a bison and survive, and you're happy to be alive at that point. I think, even if you are unemployed with no skills.
Sometimes you eat the bar, and sometimes the bar eats you, as Big Lebowski said.
So thank you everyone who was here today to watch the show. And of course, if you're not already following Before Coffee Podcast on Twitch and subscribe to Before Coffee Podcast on YouTube, please do that, because when that number goes up, we get pushed in the algorithm and more people see us. Our YouTube channel has been suffering with 0 views basically for 2 months. I think it's because we got copyright strikes, but still, YouTube is completely
I don't see it as
standstill.
Deadly myself. Yeah, it's just awful.
It's just complete
I report
Thanks, Dylan.
channels all the time, and you don't
Yeah.
get taken down. Back the next day, so
Share our channel with your friends, your dog, your kids, your co-workers, the guy down the street, your neighbor, the person you were standing behind in the line at the till. And thank you all to all Before Coffee supporters who are keeping the show running. Here is. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow for Thursdays 13, which will have a list of 13 things that we can argue about. And here is our Mike Fling moment.
We're learning more about what happened before and after the viral video you see right here, of a Washington man being tossed into the air by a bison at Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, Cairo 7's Ranjay Sinha talked to the photographer who captured that all, who also put himself in harm's way to help.
Well, here at Northwest Trek, people can come and see animals in wild settings. And one of the settings is right here, this overlook, looking at this lake.
Ooh,
this
beautiful.
is a grazing area for bison.
It's a place they want you to pull off in park.
Yeah.
So like,
past Friday,
the comments are like,
I mean, look, there's
that guy's a moron. That guy's
there's
look
an
how far he is
abandoned
away.
picnic. There's an abandoned picnic there, right? Like somebody was eating and like, oh fuck, a bison's
Yellowstone
coming.
Park this past Friday and
That's him
caught
back
this
there,
bison
see?
on
Yeah.
camera before it went on a
They're
rampage.
across the road.
The bison actually
far away.
charged
Hell,
some
far away
teenage
from-
boys a little
People in
bit
the
earlier, like
comments,
5
read-
minutes before. They scattered.
That
They kept
guy's a
running from the
moron.
camp.
What do you do?
Cloud says
Did
the
nothing
bison was
wrong. Get out
agitated
of the
before
car.
chasing
Like
down
that. You had the
65-year-old
piss. I
Carl
don't know.
McDaniel and his
Oh, look
grandson.
at those
visiting
trees.
from
He's
Whatcom
pissed at
County.
that
And
tree.
they're not walking towards the bison. They're just
He
walking
wants
past.
to
At that
trying to
point,
hide
it
in-
was
he's
just a
trying to
crazy
hide in
thing.
the
The bison
forest and it
decided
didn't
with
work.
all the people he could attack, he's
He
going to attack
wants
those
somebody
people.
that
McLeod
back.
eventually had
What
to
he
jump in
wants.
to help,
There he
afraid the
goes.
bison might trample McDaniel.
Oh,
I'm
Terrible.
5'5", 145 pounds, and I was wearing shorts and flip flops. And what I did is I ran directly at the bison, pumping my camera and yelling and jumping up and down as fast as I could.
McLeod said campers tried everything to get away, but it didn't matter to the male
That is
bison.
big.
There's
damn
never
animal.
that firm barrier
Arrest him,
between
charge
you and
them,
the animals,
yeah.
and even if you're doing all the right things, sometimes the animals make the wrong choices.
Mark Heinzman with Northwest Trek says the
Don't
attack
run in a
happened
straight
during the
line
start of the
either.
breeding season, when males are agitated.
Oh yeah, he's
Their
pissed.
brains are so clouded by those hormones that they're not thinking clearly and really thinking about if it's a bison
It's
or
supposed
if
for
it's a
deer
person
and
or
elk
a
or any
car
big beast like that.
or whatever.
Moose,
Their
when they're in the
brain
rut,
is just saying,
stay
like,
away from
get
them.
this
Don't
thing
have
that's near
mind
me
your
out of
own.
here,
Bovines,
because they're
basically.
just
Bovines,
so,
when
they're
they're on
just
the
so
rut,
aggressive.
McLeod is
alone.
actually glad
They
the
have-
situation wasn't
They have
worse.
You
instinct
see
to
all the
reproduce and
centrifugal
nothing
force that
in
was
the way of
expelled
it.
by him.
Not
And
yours
if
to
he
be
had been,
asked,
if he had
nothing.
not been flipped like that, he'd have suffered that entire impact.
So if you're watching this area from this overlook or in one of the trams here at Northwest Trek, you are
It's
in a
people
Maybe
position
maybe not
to
the
see
time of the
bison,
year
and
to have a
wildlife
picnic
experts
next
say
to the bison.
never
I
approach a
think,
bison
yeah.
or get too close to them.
Meanwhile,
in the
today in the
wild.
Buffalo
In
news,
Israel,
it is
Ranjay Sinha,
people
Cairo
flipping
7 News.
season. It started again.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Record.